Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni means the sage of the Shakya clan. The Shakya clan was an important North Indian clan who lived around the area of what's now southern Nepal, but of course Nepal didn't exist as a political entity at that time. So the culture, they're part of North Indian, Indo-European culture. And Lord Buddha was born into that clan in some 5 centuries before the Common Era. And for us, as Mahayana Buddhists, we actually believe that that life of Shakyamuni Buddha was, in fact, in a way, in its entirety, a display of the qualities of enlightenment. Because in Mahayana Buddhism, we believe that the Buddha actually became enlightened innumerable lifetimes, many in the remote past. Having generated the Bodhisattva vow in the presence of a previous Buddha, he accumulated merit and wisdom through 3 eons and finally achieved Buddhahood in the realm of Akanishta. And so, appearing in India as he did 2.5 millennia ago, this was in order to perform the 12 deeds which show the way to others to achieve enlightenment, beginning with birth into a family, beginning with growing up, receiving an education, inheriting his royal duties, and then around the age of 29 making that decisive break with kind of worldly ambition and worldly kind of life, renouncing those to go out to find the answer to the problem of suffering. That was the great renunciation made at the age of 29, after which he spent 6 years studying, practicing different forms of spiritual discipline with the contemporary teachers of his time, because Buddha was actually born in a time of intellectual and spiritual ferment in northern India. At the age of 35, having exhausted all those avenues of spiritual practice, but not finding liberation, not finding the cause of dissolving suffering, Buddha resolved that he would meditate by himself until he did. And recalling how to meditate from his childhood in a very simple, attentive way, he entered into his profound meditation under the Bodhi tree in the place we now know as Bodh Gaya. And that very night he passed through the 3 stages, culminating in decisive enlightenment, the cutting through the final bonds of self-centeredness. For us, all that is a display of how we are to follow the path. The practitioners of other Buddhist vehicles, the Shravakayana, they believe that that was in fact a kind of, in a way, not a display, but actually was Buddha experiencing enlightenment for the first time. In a way, it doesn't matter which of these 2 perspectives we take, I guess. So Buddha then, at the age of 35, manifested full enlightenment. And then he spent the rest of his earthly existence, like 45 years, sharing his way with all those who came to him, sharing as he mused himself after enlightenment. I've discovered the deathless, a nectar so rare. Could it even be communicated? Actually, he was prompted by the gods Brahma and Indra, who said there are beings with little dust on their eyes who will be able to respond to this teaching. And so Buddha then embarked upon his 45 years of teaching the Dharma. But I think it's better to say sharing the Dharma, because Buddha was not somebody who wanted to convert people or recruit people, but he was there to help them find their way to liberation through his supremely skillful methods. So Shakyamuni, the sage of the Shakyas, born with the name Siddhartha Gautama, is the Buddha of this historical period. We are his followers. That's why we're called Buddhists. And Lord Buddha then showed, passing away at the age of 80, and even that was a teaching. Even his death was a teaching to show that all conditioned phenomena, as a body must be, arising from cause and conditions, are subject to impermanence. So he left us this wonderful last teaching of the fact that we must strive ourselves through practice, because everything is impermanent. Yet his mind, the enlightened mind of the Buddha, never ceases, as it is actually unborn. It is also unceasing. It is the Dhammakaya itself, and therefore through meditation and through practice we ourselves can come into contact with that Dhammakaya, which actually fundamentally is the true nature of our mind also.